Valentine's to you movers out there in advance, of course. We will not be on your screens today, but I would wish you would be there to sing them a Valentine's song, not so? I don't know. Good evening to you movers. This is Memove, finding the winner within. It's your usual girl, Mindy Kutsi. And I am with the Knowledge Center comrades. I want to call them
you are changing things.
Yeah, I'm always changing things every day. How are you guys?
Good.
Why are you not guys vibed? I don't know. For some reason, you're all wearing black. Are you not aware tomorrow is Valentine's? Mudi Kuchi.
I think it's part of the Valentine's.
Black. Okay. Say hello. If you have a Valentine's, you want to send a message to do it now. Make it special.
Is that directed to me or Grace?
Go ahead and come on.
Hi everyone, good evening. This is Joya Sarah. We are so delighted to have you on our show this evening. It's a really, really wonderful evening. I have so many people I would like to send my Valentine wishes to. And to be specific, I'll send it to my lovely dad.
Yeah.
I love you so much. Yeah, he has already been my Valentine until further notice.
Oh. Yeah.
Our dear viewers, we love you so much. Thank you for tuning in always. Meme Movers, we are proud of you all over the world. My name is Ak Solomon, and I would like to, extend my wishes of Valentine to every honest and true, sincere person out there. Everyone that is true, honest, and sincere.
What do you mean?
There's no specific
that deserve
the message?
That's for them because it's a price they pay for that to be who they are. Next time maybe it will be general, but for now, that's fixed.
But of course, Grace has someone specific to say hello to. Please send your shout outs.
Praise the Lord, yo. How you all doing? Happy Valentine's Day, of course, in advance. This should go to my one. She's somewhere there. She's watching. She is. We are so blessed that we can be for you viewers, and I know we're going to share something great. We're going to be with each other. It's an amazing day. Happy Valentine's Day.
You haven't introduced yourself.
They don't know me.
They need to remind that you never know.
Grace Mabu, they call me King Mabu. Right.
Who calls you King Mabu?
The queen.
No, there is plural.
Don't you?
Why?
Remember, people limit to take a Valentine.
You guys, what's up for tomorrow? Who's going? Where are you going for Valentine's, you guys? Mugenda wa Solomon Planchi. What's
It's
up?
a Valentine's. Waliwo akantu ke nalabye ku social media ng'akagamba nti bannaye akamulika Valentine nkagala naye emikolo egigenderako nyitidde.
Ngachi. Yeah.
Naye nze Valentine's it's a Sunday. Sundays are, my busy days. I do so much busy. So on Sunday I will attend church. After church I will have my meal. Then go
But
to
that's
my
routine.
home.
That's routine. It's a special
So
day
what's
for what's
so
that special thing that's going to
special
happen. That day.
person?
Special person. That special person. Maybe.
He's so boring. That's so boring. Ogenda, where are you
We shall be
taking-
seeing that in the near future.
Where are you taking your queen?
We're going to church. There's something, right?
Anything special after that?
After that, there's something.
Yes, let us not be boring. It's Valentine's. We're supposed to celebrate love. Let us not be boring.
No. Let's be true. We don't know yet.
Oh wow, Joy. I know Joy definitely has a plan. She has a plot.
But maybe you're really pressing it on us, but you haven't said anything. You
Yeah.
haven't sent out a shout out to any
I'm the driver today.
I'll throw the ball back.
No,
Banaye
unfortunately.
Valentine bino mwe bakulu bange naye mukuba amakoola temuli
I know.
Valentine agamba
Let's hear what
Valentine
is talking about. You know, me, I don't want to. I'm heartbroken actually because Valentine is gonna be like a normal day for me. Some of us we are celebrating celibacy. I don't know for the what year now.
How can you say celebrate?
What should I do? I'm just waiting on God to bring that person.
But thanks be to God, it's actually on a Sunday. Don't you have Jesus is a Valentine or something like that?
Yes.
Yes.
I was thinking about it. One of the reasons why I actually don't have a Valentine's, it came about a heartbreak. And today, fortunately, to our viewers that have just joined us right now, we're going to be talking about heartbreaks. Any sort of heartbreak you've ever experienced in life.
Are you saying something bad?
No, I'm saying it's because of something that happened to me before. The reason why I'm actually single right now.
Why did you bring it to me?
Heartbreaks. Remember, so many people are going to get heartbroken on Sunday. It's a real deal.
Really?
Tomorrow. And the fact that it's a
Isn't that
Sunday.
being a perfect of doom?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know.
That's
But
why I'm saying that many people are going
you
to
just wait.
Okay.
Just wait for social media. Just wait for social media.
But
Don't worry, you're safe. I said, don't worry, I'm very safe. So you know that's why it scares so much. I'm very sure for even people. But for some reason, I don't know why people don't celebrate love every day. They don't celebrate love every day. They choose to say on the 14th of February is when we are celebrating love. So there are some people, and you know how COVID has been so bad. Like the money has not been there. I can't give Joyous the best Valentine's celebration she would want. And then because me, I would see someone else celebrating, I would feel bad. Nganendo wasn't Solomon Tanjaga. Why isn't he doing exactly what Joyous' boyfriend is doing to them? So I feel like that's the genesis of so many heartbreaks. And by the way, when I talk about Valentine's, Solomon, Waganyo to Nambako, anyone you're sending your shout outs to. It could be your sister, you're celebrating love with your sister, you're celebrating love with your mom. So Sunday we are spreading love. We are spreading love, but then we expect other people to get heartbroken. But there are people that are definitely going to get heartbroken. So firing Joyous at first. Last week she fired me. Joyous, have you ever been heartbroken?
You know what's so tricky about being, like, let's say now, like, completely or something. You know your parents are watching and they don't know you
Have to
They don't even know you like even in a relationship or something.
Really,
like
girl, really?
Yes, always. I talk to God into my moment, everything.
Now she already knows, so just saying that story.
Today.
Anyway,
Rewind.
I've experienced a heartbreak. I wasn't heartbroken, but I experienced it.
Is there a difference?
That is confusing.
That is confusing, madam.
Like no one came and broke my heart, but I just went through it, facing when circumstances I caused myself.
No, you are confusing us.
I am not. Like
Kama katonda tuyambe kumayogera amazi.
Amazima.
Ensonga gye tukuteekwa.
This is a very serious
Or
issue.
maybe you were just trying to beautify the heart.
I went through the storm, but the storm didn't go through me.
I know. Yes, tell us, how did it happen?
how did it happen?
You guys, there is someone that is definitely going through what you have gone through. And today we're just going to help our viewers out there. We are preparing you for tomorrow's heartbreaks. I apologize.
Well, anyway, I remember I happened to date someone, and the relationship was going on so well. But one of my biggest problems, even up to now, I personally have a problem if I'm dating someone and there are communication issues. It's very hard for me to really relate with someone and they don't communicate. And so what happens is that, okay, like yes, someone gets busy along the way or something like that, and you're supposed to understand it, but being a woman, I don't know, like there's a way you want to understand it, but you don't understand. Because if you've approached me and it's this same fire, like I expect you to carry that same fire along the whole.
Honey.
Yes.
Okay.
And along the whole relay. Actually, it's supposed to be going from level to level.
Is it okay to be expectant? I feel like we call upon ourselves that thing.
No.
We expect a
When
lot.
we expect a lot.
It's not expecting a lot, but if you don't expect, it's like you don't have what you're driving to. You are just driving without direction. Like I'll tell you, I'm driving, I'm leaving this place, I'm going to Mukono. I expect to reach Mukono. So that's an expectation.
Because Mukono has a specific main route.
Yes.
This is the highway to Mukono. But then with love, it has no specific formula.
Why do I need to be expectant? Because love is a two-way thing, love.
Yeah.
Like I expect, much as I have to do this, I expect the other party to do
Play
it.
their
If I'm living in a line where I'm living, I'm lying to myself that I won't expect anything. Still I'll draw off if that person doesn't do it. Because every time that person doesn't, there's another person willing to do it. Like what?
Ow. Yeah, I love your story. You're actually intriguing me with your story. Imagine there's someone, it is okay to be expectant, for you to expect your partner to behave in a certain way. But I also feel like it's a danger of bringing the pain or negativity or the heartbreak to yourself. Like now I'm looking at the reason why your relationship could have ended. If it ended, we haven't heard the rest of the story. Or maybe the relationship why it ended up having some hiccups is because of there was lack of communication, of which there's a specific way you expected your lover to communicate and they were not doing it. So how are you going to convince me that it is safe for me to be expectant?
It is safe.
Me as a woman, I need to know that it's okay to be expectant.
It's not even just okay, it's the right thing to do. Like you are supposed to expect, because the reason you're getting into a relationship with someone, first of all, I expect to get married to this person. That's already an expectation.
What about those who are dating for fun?
Because they're there.
That's a different thing, and I would recommend those people to watch what we talked about dating. Our show about dating. That's very good, yes.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you're opening up your inner self to a temporary thing. And yet, when it's a relationship leading to marriage, you know that I am storing into something that is going to last me a lifetime and maybe also eternity. So expectation is important, because when God created me, He placed things in me. When God created Solomon, He placed things in me. When God creates man is supposed to protect me. So if I don't expect him to there's a way it's just automatic. If something happens, I'm with my husband and someone's knocking at the door, of course I'm going to expect him to go past. Why? Yes.
Why was that?
All right, we are learning, yeah?
No need my protection. So expectations, you can't draw them out, and they are a driving force. Like I told you, when I expect to reach at a certain place, it is going to determine what I put in.
So how do I safely expect? Because now I'm looking at I'm going to give an example of Grace. Sometimes men don't like to be pushed. They don't want you to over push them. Communicate. There are some men that don't want to report where they are. You always report where you're going all the time. That I'm going here, I'm going there. Listen to what Joyce is saying, that she expected him to communicate all the time. Do you communicate all the time? There are men that are so big-headed that for him he never communicates.
No, point of correction. If I am starting a relationship with someone and their ways are they don't communicate, they communicate rarely, that's the foundation. And I'm going to understand the person I'm getting into a relationship
now you've given me the safe way of expecting,
You see? But if I'm starting a relationship with you and you're communicating, I'll also know this is the kind of person I am dating. Because in any case, if I tell you I don't like bad communicators, from the first time, if you show me that, then I'm not going to enter a relationship with you. But if you communicate and then you get in a relationship, and then along the way you drag off without serious reason, then it is going to show that maybe it was not really transparent. It had, maybe you just had some other reasons, because there is no man you can tell how to love a woman they love. They'll always look for ways to love their woman.
But there are those that also tell them, I want you to do for me A, B, C, and D.
Like a woman telling a man.
Haven't you ever, Solomon, I don't know if I've ever dated before.
No.
I'm asking the wrong person. Grace.
But I'm dating soon, I believe.
Grace, have you ever had a woman that tells you, I want you to do for me A, B, C, and D? Because sometimes there are men, I've had a situation where a man asks, how do you want me to love you? What was the like, how do you want me to love you? Then you give him I've been
Old Testament.
I've been in that scenario where I think today I'm just dealing with Grace and Solomon and Grace.
But please, don't just chase me out of the show like that.
Like she comes and she tells
maybe you yourself.
Yeah.
Do you know that there are women that do that?
I also do it.
Yeah.
Actually, according to what she was saying, I just discovered that the heartbreak is not about expectation. It's about things that have been given to you, but it was not true.
It wasn't true. Yes.
So you were telling me you love me. You show me everything that you love. But after I discovered that it is not true.
It's like buying, it's like receiving a box. On top it has a TV, you know you bought a TV. And then unwrapping inside, it's a small speaker. You see? It's like something has been packaged to be this, and you believe it's that, so you take it based on what it is.
But
and then you find something different.
Don't you think it's a recipe for distraction? Let me just ask Solomon a general question. It's not like this. Don't you think it's a recipe for distraction when you come with specific things that you want? Like, let me say I'm in a relationship with you and I come with specifics that I want Okore B, A, B, C, and D. I don't come when I'm open-minded. I'm simply coming to you saying, I want a man who communicates, I want a man who does this for me, I want a man who does this for me. I have a list of things.
Yeah.
So don't you think it's a formula of distraction? It's headed to being heartbroken? Because by the end of the day, like Grace said, I'm going to end up faking it. Because you have things you've given me, for me just to keep you to be there until I get what I want, then name Usura. So don't you think it's a formula for distraction?
First of all, a relationship is a mutual contract where two people come and agree about some things. So I believe these demands, these set rules that I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this in this category should come as you go and grow through levels of relationship. You get
Spoken like a true.
It shouldn't be like you're meeting someone, someone's daughter, someone's son, they are new to you, but out of the blue, me I want this. Me my should be brought on. Me what and what. Me you communicate like this. So let me tell you this. To the girls and boys out there, I believe that even what your other part does sometimes demands or dictates what you should reciprocate to them. So some of these things you can not even say anything, but when you do your part right, other things follow. Just run to you smoothly, nothing forcing, nothing. Otherwise, setting up things and writing them like a scriber, I want this, don't do this, don't do this. Sometimes it will attract a lot.
But I feel like sometimes it is right.
It's true, but I believe, relationships move on, agreement. A relationship, first of all, is an agreement. Like the Bible tells us in Amos, can two people work together unless they agree?
Of course, yeah.
You cannot, because if we are agreeing, for example, you tell me, I am this person, or let's say I'm an engineer, I'm what. I tell you I am a musician, I'm this and this. Unless you agree to work with me based on who I am, then we cannot work together. So if I come and tell you, and me, I like it. I like a man who tells me, I don't like that. I like this. And then I'll see if I can really agree to live in that way you want it to be.
You're absolutely right, yeah.
If I cannot, then you see, someone else is there who can do it. Because this desire has got roots in us. Most times I believe that there is someone who matches the same energy. I personally love communication and agreement because I feel, and it really works. When you tell someone who really cares, even if it's parental love, when a parent shouts at you, when all that moment is gone and you tell them you did this, but I don't think this was good. Like, if you're talking to me about something, at least approach me like this. You see, it's agreement, and it just helps us to move well in the relationship.
Yes, may I ask a question? Have you been in a relationship or a situationship, whatever, and you are perfect in communication with this person, but along the way you find yourself in a compromising situation, because these situations come to people and the way they deal to them depends on them, and they ask you, where are you? What are you doing? And you feel like you can't answer, because when you answer, this thing will just fall down or end. Have you found that?
Because of where you are?
Yes, I have. Not because of where you are, but let's say it's just the same thing as your parents asking you something, and if I tell my parents, right, it's going to hurt me. So because of the love, and you want to protect this person's feelings, you're going to be forced to lie, not necessarily to approach it the way they want
to lie. Now, there is one thing, like as for me, when I discover that, because the reason as to why I ask this question, there are reasons out there people are learning. Because as for me, when I discover that deceit has been going on to preserve what we are holding. Because it will take us back to the foundations. Many people are there, maybe they are not doing it today, because for you, you may find yourself that maybe he's expecting you to be applying for a job and you are out with your friends. And that's absolutely not so compromising, but where he's expecting you is not where you are. But some other people can find themselves in two compromising situations.
But why should I
so
hurry?
For me,
Explain.
when I find out that you have been building or covering up deceit for us to grow on, we can't grow on deceit. You can't just get a foundation that is so weak and you decide to construct a flat. In the time to come, this person will present to a child that is not yours.
Is this a relationship or a report center? Why do I have to like answer to everything?
Hey!
Of course, it depends on your relationship, you two people. But what you're talking about, Solomon, I'll tell you, it's protecting. It's not even deceit. I remember one time I was
speed. I wanted. No, I really wanted.
First, wait. Let me first clarify something.
That car is not mine anymore.
Liz, it's okay.
I remember one time I was at home, and I think I was in my vacation, and my dad had a medical challenge. He was supposed to go to hospital for an operation. And that morning, my parents woke up so early, but they had told my auntie to come and pick me. So I went and I greeted my dad, and then he told me we are going on a trip. You see? And it's like, yeah, he's not saying the truth. But of course
He's
he knows
protecting
if
you.
he tells me that he's going for an
It's
operation,
gonna break you down.
it's going to hurt me and it's going to break me down. Basing on who I was, then I'm not going to understand it. So sometimes it's just to protect the love you have with this person. Not necessarily that it's creating deceit or anything like that, but it's just to protect. Some people take that approach, and some people don't.
What are those things that break you? I feel like we have over-concentrated on love, and yet there are many
there are
other
some
things.
different things around that thing.
There are so many other things that can break a person.
Because tomorrow
I know tomorrow is Valentine, but Solomon is not in love with anybody, so he needs other forms of
Have you checked all the walls of my heart?
Because I asked you to send us a shout out and you literally did. So when I was asking Joyce to give us her story, I wanted for our viewers to understand what a heartbreak is. Because some of us might not understand what they mean by a heartbreak. So of course the bus, we drove it at a very terrible speed. But when I wanted
I think we were giving foundations of heartbreak.
Yeah, but then we wanted to know like Joyce's story so that we know how did what is a heartbreak to her, because people experience heartbreaks in very different ways. And for those of you guys that are just joining us right now, this is Memove finding the winner within. We are celebrating Valentine's in advance, and we're talking about how we can handle heartbreaks, and we're talking about all forms of heartbreaks. They could come from friends, they could come from your loved one, they could come from anybody. So Joyce was still telling us her story of how she got heartbroken.
Okay, yeah, like I said, that the person, they drastically changed in how they were communicating. The communication slowed down. And being a person who, I told you I agree, I communicate, I told him I don't like the way you communicate right now. You see? Said, okay, you gave his reasons and said he would change. And we said, okay, that passes. The next time you see that same full circle is going
the
on.
same thing, yeah.
So being that I'm dating you, and if I'm dating you and I'm saying I'm going to get married to you, and I feel I cannot stand this for a whole entire life. Then I told him, you know what? I think this relationship.
So what exactly broke your heart?
Because I love the person. And that's the first time. Because the first time we break up, I'm not even sure it's hurting me or anything. So I am okay. I feel like that chapter is closed.
Yeah.
So that day passes.
Yeah.
Now the next day, I get to my phone and I'm like, I have to delete this person's
number.
Pictures. No, not number. We're not yet there. But pictures, videos, whatever that is, that may create, put that contact or anything, will make me remember them. So as I'm deleting the pictures, and then it hits me like,
how did it feel?
This is really
explain
true.
that pain in words
I've
if you
actually
can.
broken up.
Explain the pain in words if you can.
A heartbreak, you cannot explain it in words. A heartbreak is so bad that you feel the only relief to it is actually death. That's how bad it is.
Yes,
You can
yes.
feel a
I
stomach
can't-
ache in the back.
It's painful. And actually, studies show that a heartbreak is the amount of emotional pain attached to a heartbreak is the same as the physical pain we feel.
Yes.
And that's why we feel it that bad.
Yes.
I cannot even explain it to you. I cannot even really say I remember how it felt.
Yeah.
But that time I felt like the only way out is if I can die. And because I am experiencing it, and I remember that time, I think my second year at campus, my mom had told me if you're to date, you should date at least in the third year of campus. So she doesn't know I'm in a relationship with someone, and then I don't really have food stock. So I start crying, you know. By the way, it's in a way that
It's bad.
you don't feel hungry. Like people be saying,
True.
please eat something, what?
No, you don't.
You don't feel hungry. Your whole mind is concentrated on the pain you're feeling.
Yeah, true.
That's it. You can't even say what eat. You just don't have appetite. You just don't know what to do. You see, and it's painful. And because you feel you've broken up with this person, you can't take them back, even if they are pleading. They are doing what? Because you feel if a person is not changing, you talked about the same thing over and over again. They're still going to do it. And the earlier the better. They actually say a car is easier turned when it is small. Because if it becomes bigger, the space becomes small.
That's true.
So if it's a small issue, I can get out of it when the issue is small.
But how about the love, the emotions invested, and all those things?
Of course, I usually get that comment from people, you know. Someone tells you, I would have broken up with this person, they're treating me like this and this, but we've dated for 4 years. And I'm saying you cannot equate 4 years to a whole entire lifetime.
I don't know. I've been in that situation. I'm going to just stop you a little bit so that you can relate the story at once. I've dated someone for that long. And what was painful is these things did not happen the same day. The whole time, the cases were happening every day. And you know, the funny thing with love, with feelings and all those things, because you don't want to hurt yourself, you don't see yourself moving on from that. You keep telling yourself they will change. You're creating room for them to hurt you more. No, they are going to change, they're going to change.
Of which some can change.
Some can change, yes. That's what the scenario I was in. I kept on saying, you know what? Tufu, we've come from a very long way. Let me keep giving him a chance, maybe he can change. And I made sure that I communicated. Whenever he did something wrong, I would immediately communicate it. That you know what, you did A, B, C, and D, and I did not like it. It needs to change if you want to see this relationship progress. And the time I chose to end the relationship, we had no fight. Nothing had happened. Like you just wake up out of the blue. That's what I've experienced a very bad heartbreak. To a point that you just wake up one morning and you just tell yourself, you know what, it is enough. You know, you reach a point where I can explain the pain. It was to a point where you can't breathe. You know, I would like hold my breath and I felt so comfortable. That's why when she says you'd rather be dead than to go through the pain, don't feel bad. It's all right. I'm cool. You know, than for you to go through the pain you are going through. I would be like in my bed and it feels like your heart is up, is going somewhere, and then the tummy hurts. I'm explaining a heartbreak. The tummy hurts, yes. Then the tummy hurts. Then when you hold your breath, you feel so fine. The pain is not felt. It's physical and it's emotional at the same time. Yes.
You just feel like someone should enter the heart and
touch
it
the
a certain
you
way
want it
and
to feel.
do
Exactly.
something to it.
But then the mistake that I feel like we make out there, us as girls or us as boys and girls, young boys and girls, is we waste a lot of time. We waste a lot of all the time I keep sitting down, I kept like, oh, this time I wasted.
What do you mean wasting time?
I kept on giving chances. You know, sometimes we get the red flags. It might not be even a boyfriend. It could be a friend. The red flags are there. They are direct. Joyous is showing me that she's not a good friend. But because I insist she's going to be okay. Sometimes I don't know if we have been rejected a lot or what.
Before you go into the red flags, there is something I've just grasped from your story. You know, once you are in a relationship and you talk about, one party explains what they don't like about the relationship, maybe communication, maybe the way you treat one another. And you keep on explaining to this person, please, this needs to be changed, please change this. And you talk about it. After talking about it, 2 weeks, the same thing happens. A month, a year, things are happening like you are living in a relationship, like code, like with the code you talk about it. Every time you talk about it. So me, this is my take. If you find yourself in such a situation, talking about it, we have to talk about it. And yet even the next week you will talk about it. I think this person is treating you in that way because they believe that's the way you are supposed to be treated. So the best way to treat these people is not talking about it, because you will hurt yourself the more.
And you know the funny thing about relationships?
So I'm still completing this. It's so small. So you just have to give these people a room because omuntu oyo simulalu alimu kuyisa bwatyo nogamba tokyagala n'akiddamu, tokyagala n'akiddamu, ate nga mukyogerako n'akimanyi tokyagala. So for you okwetayirako oyo omuntu gy'obeera you are connected with a wire, with a cable that you can't live without them, just give them some space. After some time, if they realize they really need to change to suit you, they will. If they don't, you are just creating more room. You are keeping a tiger that will tear you apart one day.
Should we warn him, or we give him time if he first enters in a relationship?
We give him time.
Because I don't want you to be like senior.
Because
some of us are so hard.
No, we want him over to Mureka
to what the time. The funny thing about relationships, by the way, is that the best relationship advice will always come from someone
who is not in the relationship. Yes.
Because you feel like, and it all happens. Like even me, if my friend comes and tells me something, Joyous, this guy, what, I'll be like, what? You're wasting time. You see?
Yeah.
But when you're in that situation,
you can't let go. Yeah.
That's when you actually understand, and that's why
you felt like you couldn't breathe yet you want to breathe.
All right, guys. We are going to come back and continue with this. Our dear viewers, this is Memove finding the winner within. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in, and thank you so much for celebrating pre-Valentine with us.
Anytime now, of
course, expect flowers, and we send love to you guys. We are going for a short break, and please don't touch that dial. Stay there. See you soon, guys.
The best and most beautiful things in this world cannot be seen or even heard, but they must be felt with the heart. This Valentine's, don't miss an unforgettable love experience at Shine Country Resort Hotel, Chigo Road, 2 kilometers off Entebbe Road. You have a chance to be part of this amazing experience by reaching us on our Rest TV Facebook page inbox and describe your lover. The singles, you are not left out too. Reach us and describe your ideal partner. The best 2 couples to describe their lovers and the best 4 singles to describe their ideal partners will be treated to an amazing dinner for free at Shine Country Resort at 3 p.m. on Valentine's Day. The winners will be announced on the Takeoff Show on Katika and on Never Give Up every day. So keep on watching Rest TV. Shine Country Resort and Rest TV bring to you Valentine's 2021. Plan to be there.
Hey guys, welcome back. This is Memove finding the winner within. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Thank you so much for loving us so much. We are spreading love back to you as we're celebrating Valentine's Day. Before we went for the short break, we were talking about how Joyous and I were heartbroken. We were talking about heartbreaks. And of course, by the end of the show, we're going to help ourselves how to move on or how to handle these heartbreaks. So before me and Joyous will become so emotional, I want to hear Grace. But then Grace, I'm going to ask you on this perspective. I'm not even going to ask you if you've ever experienced a heartbreak before or what. I'm talking about now, in the relationship that you're in. It could not be a relationship, even another friendship or anything. Any relation you have you ever experienced a heartbreak? Because sometimes it doesn't mean that a heartbreak is the end of things. Sometimes people have heartbreaks and then they continue. So have you ever experienced?
Yeah, I have. I have, but I also do research so much. I also hear some people are older than me so much. And someone told me that, they told me that true love is not found, it's built. Now, I really had my list, like someone said before. I had my list. This is what I want. A woman, yeah, who is smart, who is, light skinned, is,
Light skin.
I put my list there. But, yeah, I had my list. But out of that list, I knew that I will surely not find that person. But I gotta try it.
Okay.
Understand? Because we have to be selective in what we do.
Okay.
Because if in your list you have like 10 things you want from someone and you find out that the 7 of them are not there, then I think it will be so hard for you to be in a relationship with that person, because you'll be heartbroken like every day in a relationship, because every time you tell her something, you find that she's doing the opposite of what you wanted. So when you get into a relationship, before we talked about dating, so you have to know you get that time of dating, and you get to know what does she want, what that she wants, you understand, in a relationship. Because when you go into it, you are already in it, yeah, you will be expected to build it. When it's out
That's
of the
too much pressure, my guy.
pressure, you can't avoid pressure into love.
But it leads to a
It's
heartbreak
always-
as well.
Listen, heartbreaking, it's not always about
Someone
expectation, actually, as I said earlier. It's not about expectation, but what they seem to be giving you, yet they're not giving it to you, truly. You find someone telling you, I love you. When you tell the person, don't do this, don't do this, but she does
do
it
the exact
behind your back.
But we are
Yeah?
human.
When you find out, so you were like, so all this was not true.
Chewbacca,
None of this was true.
He hasn't.
you are a builder, right?
Yeah.
And you're talking about, building something with someone. But sometimes you can find that in between you two people, one of the two has fake building material.
That's why
Or at a time, one of you will run away with all the materials and the construction.
That's what the Bible says.
site even and everyone.
Or
So
you even run
characters
out.
and traits. So
That's what the Bible says about construction. You will be a fool if you start building if you don't sit down
and
and do
agree.
calculations
That's
about
true,
what
yeah.
you're going to build. That's why we talked about dating. If people, our viewers, you are there,
This man
or
is so
watch that,
intelligent.
you understand. That's why we talked about dating. That dating that's when the builder is sitting down and see, can we build this?
Yeah.
We have this. We don't have this. How long is it going to take? Can I take it up to the end? So you learn that. And after dating, still, we will still find challenges in the
I
relationship.
feel like you're
right?
giving us relationship advice. I want to know if you've ever gotten a
Chris, one last
heartbroken.
question. One last question, please. You are building something, you are two. But one of human needs are insatiable and they keep on changing. So if you had suggested a triangle in the first place, one of you in the due process will fall in love with a rectangle. Yet you talk about a triangle in the first place, and all the materials are for a triangle. Then you see someone, the way they are behaving, they want to twist the relationship to another side or to another face. They are including in things that you didn't talk about. What can be your reaction to that?
Okay, when you get something like that, as I said, it's not good to show someone that you are with him, yet you are not.
Yeah.
So that will be a good thing for me if you come to me and even show me your attitude. Yeah. So I'll come to you and ask, why are you doing that? Yeah. Why are you doing that? If you don't explain that, because we didn't agree on this was not there. Why are you going that way? But if you feel like you're done with this, that's the good thing for me. It's the best that I can have from you. I don't want to go on with this. Can we just finish it?
I think
Because the
another
break, the heartbreak is not about what you don't give me. It's about what you give me, yet you're not giving it to me.
Right. I
Sure.
think the other thing in regards to what he asked, I think the other thing is, first of all, if both of you, because there is someone who agreed to build a triangle, and then they build a different direction, because first of all, sometimes they don't know how to build
Yeah.
what you are building,
Yes.
but they intend to arrive to a triangle, you see? So this kind of person is a person where, for example, let's say it's a relationship, and then this person has these weaknesses. But when you weigh how they do the things, it takes us back to the heart. We feel that the person's heart is at the same upbringing. We agree to arrive to this, and that's the person's heart. I don't believe, we know the Bible says God checks us and all that. But we can also discern. Even people can discern, people have conscience. Like, there is just a way you can always feel like this person, even from the first time like someone approaches you, sometimes you can tell that this person is just playing around. Or this person is a joker, but because you're taken by the outside appearance and what you're receiving, but you always know, you see. But if in your conscience you feel like this, because love is a risk. That's the number one thing we have to do.
True. Yeah.
It's a risk. Jesus Christ leaving heaven to come down was a risk, because it's a risk that is coming in hope of people giving in their lives. You see, you're risking to settle with this person in hope of ending up with them.
Marriage, yeah.
So if I feel that me and him, or you and her, are on the same page, we are building a triangle. That's our final goal.
Yeah.
But this person, let's say, has weaknesses. So we talked about like communication. If it's your weakness, I would understand.
Yeah.
If it's coming in as a weakness. And there are also weaknesses you realize along the way.
Person should be willing maybe to change.
Yes. And you should
You should also compromise to work within that.
Of course. The people who are willing to change, but they're failing to change.
Yeah.
It takes us back to that thing we said on the last show. There is a person who is a drunkard, but every time they drink, they are tired of drinking. And they tell God, this is the last time I'm drinking. I'm tired of drinking. And then the next time they are going to find themselves drinking again. You see? That person, their heart, the seat of their heart is a heart that is broken, and they are willing to change. But they're in the process of changing. But there is a person who is not even working about change. Now that's a person you don't even waste time with.
Yeah.
You just dismiss. Because of course, yeah.
Dismiss.
Like we lay down
time.
all these things. I want a man who is working. I want a man who does this. I want a man who does this. You're going to find a man who has some of the qualities you want and some he doesn't, but you can work on him achieving them or driving to get them. And he's going to find you, he wants a J sweet or a woman who is like this. He finds I have some of the things he has and some he can actually work on me to reach.
Yeah.
So if that's the kind of person, you can give them time. You can give them time and walk on to that time. So
Grace, please give me a heartbreak story. Don't do like this. Go on the issue.
he's taking us in relationship.
Yeah. We're discussing about heartbreaks. I want to know.
Okay, I would love to talk about two stories about my job and about the
I
relationship.
can't hear you.
I'm going to talk about two kind of heartbreak that I went through. One was about my job, and another one was about the relationship I had before. So the first heartbreak was about the lady that I was seeing. We loved each other. We really took time together. They knew me at my place. They knew how to
This
relate.
guy is quick, man. He's known at the places all the time. He's quick
Yeah.
All the time.
all the time.
Hey,
One, baby, sorry.
Yeah. So we were together with this lady. We loved each other. We loved each other. We planned stuff like, you know, you have that person who know how God they want. So my parents were singing. They knew we were together. Half they went to sing, half they knew we were together. Then it came like after 2 years, the story came out. You guys may be related.
Wow.
You guys may be related.
Related as in the lady may be coming from Congo.
No, like
Trying to make it look better.
like you are. We may be cousins. We may be cousins. Yes, my parents knew. Our parents knew. And then what they will come to tell us that we just thought you guys were just joking. You were just kids. And I was
And because, see, because do you know the dangers that comes with that? Do you know that there are some people that even fail to move on? Like life, it can stop there. Imagine you've built up life with somebody.
Without-
Then out of the blue.
Okay.
Because there are so many people.
Now we want to talk about these dangers it comes with. Like your life literally just stops there. You've built a life with this person, and there's some people that even fail to move on because of such scenarios.
But do you know that there are actually people, and these are like things, you know. I just pray my friends don't watch it. But there is actually someone. You contribute to build a house.
Yeah.
With your boyfriend. You see? You put every penny you get. We are building. Construction materials, yo. Visiting the site, yo. You see? Everything. And then before you know it, you're actually not the person.
Wow.
You see? Before you know those things. And these days, social media is very bad. There are so many scenarios. I actually have a friend. Okay, this one I really hope for her she's not one. Her ex then.
I love the way I make people talk things they don't want to speak.
Her ex then lost the man.
Yeah.
She had been dating him for a really long time. He even proposed. And he lost the man. So she goes that night, like to the vigil. And before she knows it, actually, she finds the guy is married.
Oh Lord.
She found the other family there at the vigil.
How did she move on? You know, sometimes, what are the dangers of that?
It's in the night, and someone is texting me, you know what, Joyous? I'm going through an unfair situation. And I'm like, what's unfair? You know how you're not friends, yeah? Someone is talking what? I'm like, what unfair?
Exactly, yeah.
And then she tells me, you know what? I'm in the night. I'm here at the vigil because I knew the guy. She had introduced me and I already engaged because we are friends. Yes. She's like, you can't believe I'm here at the vigil. So and so has lost their mom. But I can see another family, a wife with children. And I'm told the guy is actually married. I just don't know how I can leave this place right now. I don't know what to do right now. I'm just feeling like people really go through these things.
I'm thinking, how did it affect her? I'm looking at now the effects of these heartbreaks that we go through. How did it affect her?
It's very bad. And Mide, you've gone through a heartbreak. She can never explain to me as much as she has gone through it.
You know, mine was bad to a point where 3 months I was MIA. I was not talking to anyone. For 3 months. Locked.
But
Yes.
there are people who don't move on for over 10 years.
People die. Listen, when I was in campus, there's I don't know if you guys heard about this guy, he's called Arthur. He was from Moobs. He was all over social media. There's a guy who, before he killed himself, he put on his statuses that he was going to kill himself. I don't know what had happened. I don't know if the girlfriend had broken up with him or anything. Sometimes even just breaking up with someone can cause someone a terrible heartbreak. And look at the consequences to a point where he killed himself.
Heartbreak takes strain.
It takes that. So just how did the story, sorry that I cut the story, but of course we're running out of time. I want to know, how did it affect you? Because his heartbreak was from external factors. Sometimes this heartbreak don't come even from your partner. Sometimes it comes from even the people that are outside. Look, the family decided to tell them that they are related, and then they were building something. So how did it affect you?
Actually, I started my relationship when I was still young, and that was going to kill me. Actually, because even their family, they were forced to even shift. They are in Bujumbura now, and they shifted from that. So the problem was everywhere I was going, I was getting memories. I was seeing her, I was seeing us. Okay. So when I look at my parents, I don't know, sometimes African parents, they're selfish.
Selfish, yeah?
Yeah, because they just think you are kids, you're not feeling anything. They're like, we just thought you guys it was just like a joke. We knew it was going to just stop. We didn't know we were going to be that serious. So they shifted. I stayed home, but I can't say anything hurt to me. It just go. Wow. Just go. Knowing that someone can give you more than that, because I never knew that I could get someone better. I was feeling like that was the one, and I don't know if anyone
and
can
that's
offer
what
me.
usually happens.
I don't
You
know
never
if,
thought you'd get, even up to now I haven't gotten
I don't know
someone.
if anyone
That's how
can
bad it
offer
is.
me anything.
And
good.
if
It puts you in a situation that you think that there's no partner, there's nobody that can even fit in his
You
shoes.
feel like this is the person who will understand you.
Exactly.
But the only thing I can say is just go, man. Just go.
Joyous, as you're telling us, no, guys, as we are winding up our story, we have some 10 to 15 minutes before we close. So I want you to tell us the heartbreak, how it affected you. And as you tell us how it affected you, tell us how you walked away from it, how you overcame it. Because someone needs to know. I'm very sure many of us have gone through a heartbreak and in a relationship. And so I just want to know, someone might not, it's funny that some people don't even know that they're experiencing a heartbreak. Some people don't even know. So since you have explained to us, tell us how it affected you and how you overcame it.
How it affected me, I think I already said, because the other thing is that, of course, being in that situation as nothing and no one knew at home. Like it went on, and at some point I found I had to share with my mom. So I told my mom because, and of course it goes back to parents. Parents, they just have to be so kind. They just have to be so soft. Because the very first thing I was fearing to tell my mom is because she told me, when you get to campus, don't date at least until you reach like third year. You see? And then I'd been dating. So I am going through pain alone because I know the first thing I'm going to be rebuked for having dated. Yeah. Which didn't actually happen. When I told my mom, she was so emotionally touched. I don't even know if she remembers that I was crying, and then she also started crying.
Aww.
But you see, and then she asked me about this person because now she didn't know anything about him. And of course she encouraged me, she talked to me, she told me, don't get back to them. That's the first thing. You always, however much you're afraid, you have to identify someone to talk to. A heartbreak is not a one-time thing. That's why people a one-person thing actually. Yeah. That's why people end up in depression.
Yes.
Because you feel you're so strong, there's that thing you always say, there's nothing as strong as a woman who covers their pain with a smile. No, I disagree with that. Yes, the pain is going to be there and you feel you can be strong, but you cannot drop from wells. You don't have, like, the Bible says, love your neighbors, you love yourself. You're not going to come and give me good relationship advice when your inside is rotting.
Yeah, true.
The very first thing is you're going to identify someone you can talk to. Some people, if you feel you can't talk to your relatives or anything, at least identify a counselor. Because you can find a counselor, there are counselors who doesn't know anything about you and who has no one they're going to judge about your situation. Please identify them and talk to them. And also cry. You have to cry. Because when you're going through a heartbreak, every time you cry, you're
releasing something. True.
There's a way you just feel better. And of course, because my mom told me move on and all that, and I said yes. But right now, she should not know that, I found myself going back to the same person.
Yes.
The first time you're getting breakup, the second time you're getting breakup. You see?
Yeah.
That happens.
It's true, it does.
Because you feel you love the person and I can't come and tell her I am back with this person. Now again, they've broken my heart again. Yeah. Because she told you leave them.
Yeah, true.
But these are things that happen. This is reality. And if we don't approach it like that. So what I want to say is that the heartbreak really affected me. That I had to actually rebounding. You go back to a relationship because you love that person. That's you go back with them.
Have you advised someone about a relationship that is not going on well? Like in the evening, the following morning, they post, no monkey can separate us.
Of course, by the way, relationships, let me tell you something.
You can't. The best advisor is me.
I'll have an issue with my boyfriend and I'll come to you as my friend.
I'll tell you
and of course, we shall talk about it. And by the way, when we get back, we are going to talk about you.
That I told Solomon about it. You gave me. Yes.
Yeah. And by the way, I talked to Solomon. Solomon was saying, do this and this.
Yeah.
Better keep out.
Yes. He's fine. Love. Me, I have a friend. She's very wise. She makes me happy. It's called Yvonne. She'll tell you, of course, Joyous, with relationships. You come here, you tell us we abuse the man, and then when you feel you want to go back to them, you go back. And then again, we come back when you're searching. And again, we quarrel, we do what we release. But how I want to conclude is that to our dear viewers, if you're going through a heartbreak, I don't want to say that anyone will go through it. I just pray you don't actually. It's one thing I would never wish anyone to go through. It's very bad. I would never wish anyone to go through it. Actually, by when you're going through a heartbreak, you get suicidal thoughts.
Sure.
You feel like if I die, I think I'll be relieved of all this because
Yeah.
it's too much.
Yeah.
But you have to identify someone to talk to. You have to talk to someone. You have to talk to God. I love worship music. Play that worship music and cry. Go to church and worship and cry.
Yeah.
It releases because as you're crying, God is healing you. He's
Katula wanga tukaba mu service nga tebamanyi.
Yes.
When you yeah.
Sing
Now
out, come
trying
and
to
say,
understand.
you see, like
I
you cry. But God,
But
it nourishes the soul.
Solomon, just give our viewers your final advice, even though you haven't experienced it
But
really.
now, don't put it as you are making me as them representing those people like in Joyce's perspective. Those ones still in first year, second
Give
year.
someone advice there.
Our dear viewers, the genesis of many breakups you are experiencing now is how you started everything. How you started everything. When you are an author and you start a story, your start up dictates how the end will be. So before you start up anything, be cautious about the reasons as to why you are starting it.
So what if it has already started up and it has failed?
If
Give
it
us
has,
that final
if it has
now.
already started up and it's failing,
yes.
you have your conscience as a person. Do what your conscience tells you.
So if they're thinking
it's
of
saying
killing
me to
themselves,
kill
I can kill myself.
The right thing, of course, if your conscience wants to end your life then and you feel you have lived enough, you do the needful.
I'm going to get a girl to heart to break your heart.
No, they can't penetrate.
Yes, please. Yes, love.
Just something small.
Yeah.
The other thing also is, one thing that now I've grown, but one thing that I always have at the back of my head is that you have someone who loves you unconditionally, and that's good.
Of course.
Like I'm already looking forward. I want to go and at least experience this love.
Yeah.
And that's one other avenue that can help someone really
Through it, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, love. Grace, talk to someone there.
I went through heartbreak and I really don't wish that anyone go through that. It was really hell.
But it's part of life.
But if you're going to go through it, just know, because in that situation you feel like you will never get that. You will never get better.
get over it.
Yeah, you never. Now, because I went through it, and I have better now, and I just put my trust in God. In Him who can give you better. Only Him. I really don't have anything I can say or advise. And that. Yeah? So when you go through that, just know there is someone who can offer more than everything that you got. He will give you better. If it didn't work.
And another thing, love your friends. You avoid that.
What Grace is saying is that the other thing you feel it will not go away. When we are going through a heartbreak, you want it to go away there and
Quickly,
then.
yeah.
That's what always happens. Like when someone tells you you're going to be fine, what in your head you're saying, I want to be fine now.
Yeah.
That's how bad it is.
Because you want to be relieved there and then.
But we have
You
to
to
give
have
ourselves
memories.
time. You have to really give yourself time to heal.
Yeah. So I'm just going to read a simple verse. It's from Psalms 147 verse 3. It says, He heals the heartbroken-hearted and binds up their wounds. I'm talking from experience. I mean, I've been heartbroken to a point where I was MIA for 3 months. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I was so hurt I could not eat and all those things. I mean, it is okay. I think like the first step for you to get over it is to accept that it has happened.
Yeah.
Chibadeyo, like I should accept that this has happened. Sometimes we continue to hold on to things that we are not supposed to be fixing ourselves into. Sometimes it's not really important. In the first place, that's the same relationship I told you that I went to God for it to be revealed. And when God revealed it to me, I tell why would I be good? Of course I went back. Making up and breaking up and all those things. But the first thing is for you to accept, acknowledge it. That you know what, it is okay for it to happen. I reached a point where I felt like I was not enough anymore. Has a man ever diminished you to a point whereby you don't even believe in yourself anymore? That's how bad heartbreaks are. Sometimes it's not even your fault. You're trying your level best so much, you're doing your best, but the other part is just not appreciating you. They were raised differently. So sometimes it instills, you feel like you lack. I was at that point where I felt like maybe I'm not attractive enough, maybe I'm not worth it, maybe I'm not. But then I would go in a service and I would cry. People would think it's the spirit, but that was me communicating to God. I made sure that I talked to God all the time because I believe God mends the heartbroken. Yeah, He always mends. He binds their spirit together. He binds God always makes it right, always, and He even says it. Come to me. So like Jess was saying, besides even you talking to people and about your situation and all those things, sometimes talk to God about the situations and don't allow yourself to continue going back to those things. It's okay. Don't feel like you're rejected. Sometimes heartbreaks, they bring you rejection. They make you feel like, you know what, I'm rejected. I don't deserve anymore. I can't be in people and all those things. It's just not worth it. Always make sure that put God first in everything. Like we said before your relationship starts, make sure God is involved in it. And there is no love that beats God's love. Once Solomon has failed to love you the way you're supposed to be loved,
try God.
Try God. He has all forms of love. He can love you like a father. He can love you like anything. This has been the most amazing.
Some message for those people who are expecting a lot tomorrow, but they will.
Oh yeah. People like us.
Are you expecting? Why?
No, I'm not. Of course, but I would want a surprise.
People dating married men.
People dating married men tomorrow, you're definitely going to be heartbroken. But I'm definitely. It's a Sunday. There's no way. And you guys don't.
You can postpone it to a Monday.
Oh, well. This has been a very, very,
conference.
very beautiful session. I love you guys and I appreciate
dating stingy men.
Smile. Of course, no gift beyond 5,000.
This bus used to be mine long time ago. I had so many drivers. But I appreciate you guys so much. I love you guys. I'm sending love to everyone out there as we celebrate Valentine's tomorrow. This has been Memove, finding the winner within. See you guys next week. We love you. Rest
Love
TV.